PAW Patrol has had lots of fourth wall breaks, from very subtle ones to kinda massive ones, and we'll go over 30 of them today. If you hadn't known, a fourth wall break is when the characters in a movie or TV show do something directly addressing of either the audience or the real world that we live in. This can be something like speaking to the viewers or referencing something of our world. We'll be starting with the smaller, less notable fourth wall breaks, then build up to the biggest ones. Now, first up at number 30, we've got Pups and the Big Snow. During Marshall's signature wipeout, before the elevator goes up, he subtly looks at the viewers and says,
"Pretty cool, aren't I?"
Then for number 29, in Pups Get a Lift, Marshall trips and finds himself rolling down the mountain in a snowball. After his ride comes to a crash and stop, he says,
"Do not try that at home,"
as either a humorous quip to his friends or a warning to the audience at home. At 28, in Pup Save Space Rock, Everest joins the Turbic cousins on a walk to photograph nocturnal animals. Of course, the cousins inevitably get into an argument, leaving Everest with an exasperated look on her face as she looks right at us. For 27, in Pup Save a Robosaurus, while our older Robo Dino is being controlled by gophers, he tries to snatch Marshall's hamburger patty. The pup notices and is in disbelief, puzzledly looking at the viewers for a moment. For number 26, in Pup Pup Boogie, after Ryder calls, Zuma attempts to run but is stuck on the roundabout. Looking at the camera, he says,
"Uh-oh,"
before being flung off of it. At number 25, Mr. Wingnut expresses his thoughts on why some wolves are attracted to his yodeling, stating,
"Every time I yodel, they howl, almost like they think I'm their leader."
Looking directly at the audience at the end. At 24, in Pup Save Walinda, after feeding the pup some fishy treats, he takes a bite himself, exclaiming,
That's some marvelous munchies.
looking directly at the viewers before the episode fades to an end. For number 23, we've got PAW Patrol The Mighty Movie scene, where Sam Stringer wears some PAW Patrol merch, telling his viewers,
Got new powers, new uniforms, and new merchandise. To all the parents out there, I'm sorry.
referencing the many parents in the real world who've bought their kids PAW Patrol merchandise. We can also see many of the onlookers behind sporting the PAW Patrol apparel as well. At 22, Moby creates an ink bomb to sabotage his competitors in the Mer race. However, one explodes on him, covering the camera with ink. He promptly wipes the ink off of the screen with his paw. At 22, there's the scene in Pup Save a Director where Mr. Porter is practicing for an ad for his restaurant, directed by Francois. Francois guides him on how his lines should be read, reciting them directly to the camera. Mr. Porter tries to do just the same as Francois, also speaking right at the viewers. Heading into our top 20, at number 20, we have Pups leave Marshall home alone when Rubble is explaining his dream to Sky and Chase.
"Last night, I dreamt the cats could talk. Weird."
Which was likely intended to be an ironic joke, as in the real world, dogs don't have the ability to speak either. Now, at 19, in PAW Patrol the movie, after being asked how they could afford their new lookout, Ryder replies,
Officially licensed PAW Patrol merchandise. This stuff sells like hotcakes.
holding up a shirt with pictures of Chase, Sky, and Marshall from the series. For number 18, in Pup Save the Hippos, a hippo bumps Marshall onto a unicycle and he goes rolling out of the big top. He then looks at the viewers with a confused look on his face. And if you've enjoyed so far, Marshall would like it if you'd like the video and subscribe. Continuing at 17, we return to Pup Save a Robosaurus, where after the pups go get some more burgers, Earl adds, looking straight into the camera. For 16, in Pups Go for the Gold, after Ryder comments on the pups' over-the-top organization to find the bone he hid, the pups retort to him,
Chewington is not just an old toy. Yeah, Chewington was the first rubber bone I ever gnawed on. I love Chewington.
each one looking at the viewers as they make their statements. In number 15, in the iconic Pup Save a Merpup, after the captain shows off his photo, Chase asserts,
All I see is a thumb.
glancing at the viewers for a second. Passing the halfway point now, we have number 14. In Pups taking a runaway kitty, before they begin their cleanup song, Rubble exclaims,
1, 2,
As if he was shouting for the instruments that played to begin, even looking at the camera for a split second. At 13, at the start of Paw Patrol's first episode, Pups Make Splash, Rubble's riding on his skateboard and exclaims his catchphrase,
Double on the double.
looking right at the viewers. For number 12, in Pup Save an Underground Chicken, as Sky searches for the statue, she comments,
How could something so big disappear so quickly?
looking straight at the audience. In 11, during Pups Make the News, Rubble is imitating a news reporter, and when Ryder receives the call, he announces it directly to the audience. Going into our top 10, at number 10, a moment from Mission Paw's Pup Save the Royal Throne. Marshall sees Sweetie trying to flee and runs towards her. Jumping through rocks, he states,
Wow, I haven't even tripped once.
saying this right to the viewers. At number 9, at the end of Pups Plus a Plucky Chicken, after Chickaletta has a dream while on a car ride to City Hall, Mayor Goodway tells her,
My goodness, you napped the whole drive. I hope you had sweet dreams.
to which she clucks and winks right at the audience. At number 8, we have a similar situation in Pup Save a Flying Farmhouse. After Farmer Owl wakes up from his bizarre dream and awkwardly explains it to Farmer Yumi, Garby winks at the viewers. How this separates itself from Chickaletta doing the same is that it made sense for her as it was her dream, but for Garby, this implies he must have somehow known about Farmer Owl's dream and its details, breaking the fourth wall even further. At number 7, we have a moment from Pup Save Ryder. As he hikes at the beginning of the episode, we can hear him whistle, and we can recognize that he's whistling the tune of the theme song of Paw Patrol. In number 6, we have a scene from Hum Patrol to the Rescue where, when he heads down the slide, we hear,
Humdinger! That's Mayor Humdinger. And where did that voice come from anyway?
the voice usually exclaiming the name of a pup during the honor roll song is noticed and corrected by Humdinger in this case. Now we get into the top 5. At number 5, another Hum Patrol to the rescue moment. When Ryder summons the pups and they appear in the split screen, Humdinger appears in the center and shouts,
Where'd all of you come from?
breaking the fourth wall once more. At number 4, we have a scene from Pup Save a Show. After checking up on Captain Turbid earlier, he's now directed to check up on Chase, to which he says,
Wow, 2 patients in one day.
looking directly into the camera. In number 3, during the rescue in Pup Save the Paw Patroller, Chase hops on to Ryder's ATV and comments,
It's nice to have someone else doing the driving.
directly addressing the viewers. It also doubly breaks the fourth wall, as it's likely a joke on how dogs normally aren't expected to drive in the real world. At number 2, in Pup Save the Dragon, as the play he's in wraps up, Marshall quips,
And this is the end.
making that joke as he is the back half of the dragon. Not only does it break the fourth wall by him telling it right to the camera, but it's also the end of the actual episode itself, breaking the fourth wall yet again. Now, at the number 1 fourth wall break, at the end of Puppadoodle-Doo, Marshall tells Ryder,
Ryder, watching ourselves is so much fun. Why can't all our adventures be on TV?
to which Ryder replies,
You never know, Marshall.
He giggles and looks right at us, the audience, who have seen countless of their rescues and adventures on TV ourselves. Anyways, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to check out that one right there, and as always, I'll see you next time.